First you got to have a little dirt in your pan. And we're going to use something that looks like practice. This is practice gold. This is not real gold, but this is something that looks just like real gold. I make that material, and we're just going to put that in there. Now what we're going to do, we're going to take advantage of the gold because it's so heavy. We're going to sink that gold to the bottom. You want to put it in the bottom, right in the bottom down there. And how you're going to do that? Here's how you're going to do it. You're going to put the pan in the water and get a pan full of water. And then you want to start a small circle. Tilt it to the front just a little bit. First go slow, but when you hear the material start swooshing around in there, you can see that material getting very mixed up in there. What you're doing, you're moving your material to the front and you're sinking the gold. And if you pour the water off, you can see the gold is going down to the bottom, right in the bottom, down in here. Now here's how you're going to separate it. See the bottom of your pan has got a little angle on that. You want to put your pan in the water, tilt it back just a little. Not much, just a little. So you want to put your pan in the water and tilt it back just a little. Remember, flat, back just a little. So you put it in the water and back just a little. And you put your water right up to the top of your material. Now, I want you to move in a straight line. Keep your wrist stiff. And I want you to go back and forth. And if you will see, there is a wave going back and forth in here. See that wave? It's throwing all the dirt right off to the side. And so far, you don't see any of the gold in here. Little evidence of it, but most of it is staying right in the bottom. Just going to continue this. And pretty soon, you see that gold just sitting in the back and the bottom? It just sits right there. Back and forth. You see that wave going back and forth? That's what's getting rid of all your material. And pretty soon, you don't have anything but practice gold left in the bottom of your thing. Now, let me show you something you do not want to do. Here's a couple of things. There's lots of ways, but I'm going to show you what happens with different kinds of techniques. Some people do this. You see what's happening immediately? Your gold is walking to the front. Whoops, already lost a piece right there. Went right over the edge. It's difficult to do this unless you really do it slow. So what you want to do is keep that. You can sit there and go do this all day long. And the gold stays in the back of the pan and just rocks back and forth. But the minute you start going like this, it starts walking right out. That's one thing you don't want to do. Unless you're a real expert at it, you don't really want to use that technique. There's one other thing that I want to caution you about. Remember I said keep your wrists stiff while you're drawing that straight line. Keep that pan just like that. Keep the wrist stiff, pan just underwater, back and forth. And you can sit there all day long and the gold stays in the back. But let me show you what happens and how fast you can lose your gold if you do something else. Now a lot of people do like this. Did you see that? You saw how fast it was to lose the gold? See how fast that goes? Because you're moving your wrist. You don't want to do that. You want to keep that pan straight, your wrist straight, and go back and forth about 1 foot constantly. Remember, do not do that. If you do like that, you're going to throw your gold's already walking out to the front. And the same thing with this motion here. Your gold is walking out to the front. So remember, put your pan underwater, tilt it back just a little, and go back and forth with it. No problem. Everybody said, well, Fred, you didn't have any rocks in there. Look, I got a few little pretty rocks here. Things like that in there. All right, we got some pretty little rocks. One there again, you're going to roll them around. The gold is sunk down into the bottom. And one thing you can do with the big rocks is you can rake, since you've washed those rocks already, you can sit there and you just rake them off with your fingers. Just like that. Just use your fingers kind of like rakes, but underwater. All right. And still, it's the same thing. And here you go. You just can sit there all day long and the gold stays right in the back, down in the crack of that pan. You will be amazed how fast you can get that done.